I want to share with you how God has used New Life Solutions in my life. When I was in high school, I was a straight A student. I made a lot of sacrifices so that I could get into this elite university. Everybody else was out partying and having fun, and I was at home studying, and that was totally fine because I had big plans for my life. And then shortly after I graduated, but before I could enroll in university, I learned that I was pregnant. Karl Marx envisions a world without God, and he says that all that is solid would melt into air. And that's what it felt like. I remember closing my eyes, and everything I had sacrificed for and dreamt of just disappeared into this void. The future I had charted for myself just melted into air. And that is the state I was in when I arrived at a woman's place. But the women there spoke life over me. They spoke the word over me. They could see future possibilities that I couldn't see yet. They had hope. And that set my feet on solid rock again. God used those women at a woman's place to help me see that all that I thought had melted away was solid again. Fast forward, and by the time I was married and had 2 children, I started volunteering at a woman's place because I wanted to give back. And that is when I met Natalie Keene. And I could write a whole book about the ways that God has used Natalie in my life. But for now, I'm just going to tell you one story. One day, I was counseling a woman who had come in for a pregnancy test. And she totally rebuked my gospel presentation. She said it was ignorant and arrogant that I would claim that Christianity offers the only way to God. And I had no idea how to respond to that. Afterwards, Natalie sat with me and said, "Kara, haven't you ever heard of Christian apologetics?" And that is the study or the discipline of understanding how to defend our faith, stemming back from 1 Peter that says, always be prepared to give a reason for the hope that we have. I had never heard of that. But that day with Natalie, at a woman's place, opened a door of curiosity that led me all the way to Oxford, where I studied Christian apologetics. And it is no exaggeration to say that that has altered the trajectory of my life. That apologetics journey has led me around the world on so many different adventures. I enjoy so many rich relationships with brothers and sisters in different countries. I've experienced so much, not to mention falling in love with the truth and goodness and beauty of Jesus Christ that I was able to understand, to discover through the discipline of apologetics. All of that started that one day volunteering at a woman's place with Natalie. My husband and I also became donors. But the first benefit dinner that we attended, we could not even afford the tickets. We were actually given tickets by a couple we didn't even know at our church. And so we arrived and we sat among strangers and, we awkwardly gave a little, and that was that. But the next year we decided to come back. And this time we prayed about what God would have us pledge. And then we pledged and God provided. And the next year, we prayed again about what to pledge. And we felt God challenging us to add another 0. And so we did, and God provided. And the next year, we came back, and we prayed about what to pledge. And we felt God challenging us to add another 0. Now, this was very scary because we actually didn't have that many zeros, but we pledged in faith. And just a little while later, I got this windfall project from work, and we made 3 times the amount that we had pledged. And so by then I said, wow, This is actually exciting. And year over year, we have seen our generosity, our joy, and our freedom multiply. God has used New Life Solutions to disciple us in joyful stewardship and to reveal to us something of the mysterious economics of the kingdom of God. It has been 20 years since our daughter Isabel was born. And now I serve on the board of directors, but I don't have any stories about that yet. It's too new, so I'm just going to tell you what I know. God has used New Life Solutions in ways that none of us can measure. This is a place where women in crisis can have their feet planted on solid rock again. This is a place where new doors of opportunity can be opened to them. It's a place where they can come and be discipled in the freedom and joy of Christ. I know this because I lived it. I'm still living it. I'm not going to ask you to give tonight, but what I will ask you to do is pray and ask God what He would have you to do, and then obey Him. And know that I am here with you doing that very same thing. I am one to whom much has been given. And I am here with you tonight with profound gratitude, a gratitude I cannot fully express. I am here grateful and with great expectation. And I am asking God about the zeros.